If the old adage is true that we are what we eat, and it's evident in our body as to what food we are taking in, what about eating the Word or consuming the Word of Yah? Is that evident in our lives as well? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 4, the Torah portion Torah. Let's go a little further in Shemot, Exodus chapter 25, down to verse 23. You shall make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, a cubit wide, and a cubit and a half high. And you shall overlay it with clean gold, and shall make a molding of gold all around, and shall make for it a rim of a handbreadth all around, and shall make a gold molding for the rim all around. And you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that are at its 4 legs. The rings are close to the rim as holders for the poles to lift the table. You shall make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. And the table shall be lifted with them, and you shall make its dishes, its ladles, its jars, its bowls for pouring. Make them of clean gold. And you shall put the showbread, the bread of presence, on the table before me continually. So we have what would appear to be about the size of a traditional coffee table in the middle of your living room. It's roughly 3 feet by 1.5 feet and about 2 feet 3 inches high. Again, roughly the size of a traditional coffee table in the middle of the living room. And it's, as you go into the set-apart place, we've moved from the altar, we've moved then to the laver, and now we enter into the tent structure, the tent proper, and we're in the front room. As you enter in, the table of showbread to the north is on your right, and the menorah that we'll talk about tomorrow that is on the left. And so these two are opposite one another. Today, let's focus on the table of showbread. What is this and what is its purpose? Well, this table holds 12 loaves of bread, and they, of course, represent the 12 tribes of Israel. They are baked with fine flour, and once they are baked, they are brought in. The previous supply of bread is lifted up. The new supply is laid upon the table, and it is hot, it is fresh. And rabbinically, scholars have been saying that this bread remained hot and fresh and aromatic. It did not grow stale in the presence of Yah. It remained fresh bread for an entire week. Now, anyone that buys bread on a regular basis or makes bread, you know that after a few days, the stale factor begins to set in. But this bread was supernatural in that it was in the presence of Yah and it did not deteriorate. That's something we'll come back to in just a second here. And so this bread then would be exchanged. The previous bread was to be eaten by the priest and only in the environment of the tabernacle. It was not to be taken out and then sold to the populace outside. This is set apart bread, and only those who are ritually set apart for its purpose may consume it. The word showbread, it is, I'm not real sure how they came up with that phrase, but the Hebrew here is shulchan lechem hapanim. Shulchan representing the table. Lechem is bread. Hapanim. Panim talks about faces. It's a plural word, not panah, singular, but panim. And it's multiple faces. It's also given us the idea of surfaces. One might say various facets, various expressions, various edges. The idea is that this bread was not just flat and smooth, but that it had some means of surfaces. Now, if you look in the commentary by Rashi, he has a particular drawn design that gives us very sharp angles of bread. Was it that? Was it bumpy? Was it kind of like challah bread in that you got multiple twists and turns? I don't know that we know for sure. Perhaps those who do Levitical training would have an understanding from ancient manuscripts. But the purpose of this bread is to represent the Word and all of its expressions. When we digest the Word, when we pick up this book, and if I get the book in front of the camera here, when we pick up this book and we begin to read its words, we can do it as a spiritual exercise. And it's a good spiritual exercise. Certainly we should ingest the Word, but what are we trying to accomplish? Are we scratching a spiritual itch? Are we getting to a place where I've read the Word, therefore I'm good to go? It's a check mark on our list of to-dos for the day. Or are we looking for something? Now, there are those that you're looking for something, you're digging in there, you're trying to find some kind of hidden insight. The nuggets are exciting, no doubt. We look in there and we see something and our eyes pop open. It's like, wow, I hadn't seen that before. All of us love those moments. But there's also the necessity of just good, solid, dependable reading. I want to share something I think is very important here. There seems to be, especially in the Hebraic roots community, a fascination with that which is out on the edge. Remember, the Word has multiple edges, multiple surfaces. There's a fascination for many that want to go out to the furthest edge of things, and we get caught up in issues that really don't hold a whole lot of weight. I don't mean to be offensive here. If this is one of your preferred levels or avenues of study, but I'm not really fascinated by the shape of the earth. There's a lot of people that have gotten overly fascinated, I think, with the shape of the earth. Is it flat? Is it round? Is it whatever? The Nephilim. The giants are here, hybrid Nephilims, this and that and the other. The last time we saw a Nephilim on the earth scripturally, Israel defeated them. Yah destroyed them. And if they show up again, I don't see why that wouldn't be a repeating of the case. I'm not concerned about the Nephilim. What I would rather focus on is the solid doctrinal truths of His Word. Things that when I am under the gun, when the fire is hot, when the pressure is heavy upon me, that I can lean upon that which I know to be true, to be solid, to be dependable, that which I have entrusted to memory, that which I have put into my heart, that which I have digested. It is at that moment that if I have eaten the Word, consumed the Word, that it should be then evident in how I live it out. There are many, many facets to the Word. So reading it through one time may reveal certain things to me. Going through it again is going to reveal perhaps something different. There are multiple surfaces, multiple expressions, but they're all about His face, revealing the face of Messiah, revealing the face of the one who created me. But it also reveals my face and all of its facets, its realities and issues that I need to deal with. That's important too. May the Word be in you. May you consume it, and may it consume you. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. To this, shalom.